Please, can you tell us your name?
My name is Shelley Wallace, and I am an art director, set designer for Local 800. My pronouns are she and her.
Great. And so what did bring you to the union, and what was your first experience with the union?
If I'm honest, my first experience was really television. But when I got out of college, I was supposed to be an architect. That was my training at Cornell University. And my sister lived here in California. I came, started working with an architecture firm. And just by, happenstance, I was laid off. And luckily, through 6 degrees of separation, there was a gentleman by the name of William Newman who I was introduced to, who was willing to talk to me about the film industry. So through Bill, I found another career and ended up joining 847. That's how I got introduced.
Right. So did he kind of take you on as a mentee, or
He certainly did. He certainly did. I think I was very fortunate. He became my mentor. What was best is his life skills, like the life training and the sort of concept and understanding of life in this industry. That was invaluable. To this day, he's been retired for 20 years, maybe more, and we're still good friends and still talk all the time.
Oh, that's so great. That's awesome. How has the union shaped your career?
I mean, I knew I needed the union to get in, but I had no interest in coming to meetings and such. And Bill, again, with the life skills, he was involved. He was very political. He wanted me to take more interest. And, I always gave him that sort of soft answer. I'm just so busy. I'm so busy. God, it was probably 10 years later that Carol Bentley invited me, who I knew, fellow set designer. She invited me to a work issues committee meeting. I came ready to talk about my experiences, and at the time, as an African-American woman, to speak of those experiences, but it really wasn't the right time, funny enough, It was a good, 6 years before 2020, before Black Lives Matter. And, my situation wasn't really being heard. But then Patty Klawan invited me to join the Set Design Council. And that was really the beginning of me suddenly maturing into understanding what the union does for me, for all of us.
And you are very involved now. Do you want to go tell us what your positions or what positions chairs you hold at the
I became a member of the Set Design Council. It's been at least 6 or 7 years now, and then I joined the board last year, 2021, and joined the Production Design Initiative as the only set designer. That's an art director council subcommittee, but was invited. Was quite proud to be invited. And then, of course, the Diversity Committee, also known as the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. I'm a co-chair along with Michelle Yu and Alex Stam. I recently was asked by our national director, Chuck Parker, to join him in the first Diversity Committee jointly with the IATSE and AMPTP. So I'm also on that Diversity Committee, which includes all the Western region locals.
That's amazing. That's quite an honor. That's really great.
I'm just so grateful that to add to the community, it's such a different climate than it was pre-2020. Clearly changed drastically, because I was ready to just fold it in and just get out of doing what I was doing, and then 2020 just reinvigorated me. So that's made me want to keep fighting for women and for people of color and for all diversity, just because ADG needs it badly.
What is the most satisfying part of your job?
The puzzle. I love the idea that there is a way to design a space that can tell a story. It's a great feeling. And it's never waned, no matter how much drama goes into getting a job or maintaining a career, or, it's just, still it's a reason for me to be excited every day that I get to do that.
It's great. That's really great.
I'm definitely where I was supposed to be.
You were just part of the union, but now you're actually really affecting change in the union. Like, the thing that resonates with me a lot about the IATSE and the officers training is them continuously telling us that we are the union. And now you have gone from being like, this is just somewhere, it's just the union, to like, you are the union. Right? I mean, you've made all these changes. You've really affected a lot of change.
Yeah, it's been wonderful because, as I say, there's certain people, yourself included, who I feel put the fire and gave me the sort of lifted me up and helped. I mean, we carried each other over the hurdles. It's exciting when I actually see things change, because I was in a spot 7 years ago where I'm like, none of this is ever going to change, so I'll never say that again. I'll never say that again, because that's not true.
What do you wish more people knew about you?
Well, the fact that I was probably, people don't know, I'm the first African-American woman in Local 800. When I say that, I feel like I should have gray hair and be old and carrying a cane, like, back in the day. It's like, but no, surprisingly, for someone who came in 1995, I was the first. It is something I'm proud of, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be the last, And my mentor, Bill, I'm very proud that, I was able to be part of the awards that presented him with his Lifetime Achievement. For all he did for me, it was such a wonderful, experience to be there at the 80s. It's almost like it's all coming to fruition, that the work I started doing through different nonprofits, and now with my own guild. I never thought I'd see the day where I could actually I never thought I'd get this involved, where I could actually make something happen within the guild. Not myself personally, but be a part of the change that we want to see. And I'm really glad, because now it means a lot more to me than proudly part of 800, and I'm hoping that there'll be some changes when I, retire or get my Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's coming.
Even if I have to make the award myself.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the production design, the PDI diversity outreach at all? And
I had taught a few years ago, did some adjunct teaching at the Art Institute in schools like LACC, but thanks to John Iacovelli, he invited me over to the council, and at that time they had begun the groundwork for bringing in these young people, working with schools that, Ghetto Film School and my own dear friends, nonprofit, Kids in the Spotlight, for foster students that want to make film, and just get them interested and excited, and a pathway of education into the guild. We have a lot of work to do, because that is different. That's where we really have to get a good training program linked with ADG, so that they're at least being able to build up some credits and skill sets that make them more employable. So I still feel like that's what we were doing with PDI. Our outreach hasn't gone as far as I'd like it to yet, but we're really just at the sort of beta test level, and we did have some schools that took part, and we did find some people. So I'm excited to see that improve, and seeing some really amazing talent out there that otherwise would not know. And I'm just like, we can make that link, and we can make it more standardized for the ADG, and I think it's for the betterment of the future of the ADG that we do that. I don't think it's just some kind of, charity or some kind of gift. It's a necessity, because we are a diverse nation, we're a diverse art pool, and the talent is outstanding. And this isn't a private yacht club. We need to stop trying to hold on to something that, especially ADG, it's one of the smallest locals. We have to, consider we're connected. As even Kristen said when she went out to D2, like, we're connected to all these unions fighting for so many things. And that's to your last question. I have some good pictures. I have, one from, the Fed breakfast, and I have one from a protest that we did for the women's workers downtown. I was with Patty Kawan for that. So I have pictures on from Cal Fed, from the Martin Luther King breakfast. But I love that the Women's Committee and the DEI Committee and the Young Artist Committee have begun to cross over and do a lot more co-branding. And I love the outreach and the sort of mixing of events. I think that's so helpful. For so long, at least from when I got involved, it seemed like we were, everyone was separate. It was very separate. It was a lot of contentiousness. And, I really believe we have a responsibility to membership, and I keep coming back to that. And I think it's so nice to see that there are other committees that get it and are actively engaged in trying to live that model, and not try to hide behind a bunch of rules and regulations, and just for the sake of a title. We're so much more than that, and it's nice to see that. That's the part I'm most proud of with our guild when I see things like that happen. That's the best.
That's really awesome. That's great.